Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.
I know not just by looking into my screen, but even if I wasn't looking into my screen and just listening to you, I know all of your talk about logistics had Jason from DHL leaning forward, I think nose almost on the screen of his laptop, edging to get in. So Jason, I'm going to allow you now to come in and just share your views on your top 5 regulatory ecosystem problems that you feel trade tech and RegTech could solve. And sort of just to give us your view on the interrelationship that you think would make a lot of sense between RegTech investors, developers, and policymakers to really unlock this opportunity and create novel and interesting sustainable partnerships in support of the African continental free trade area. Over to you, Jason.
Thanks, Hubert. So it's been a very interesting couple of months with a rapidly evolving landscapes across Africa and the rest of the world with COVID, and of course we've had to adapt our business model, look at what works effectively, where we've had shortcomings in terms of the landscape that we operate in, and so it's been a very interesting 2 months, and we've got a number of outputs that we've shared with you in the past as well on what we see to be critical areas of investment and development in Africa. And so particularly for DHL, we're looking at increasing the pace of customs clearances in the various African countries, particularly with digitalization requiring things like digital signatures, electronic customs payments without the need to physically go to a customs office and pay in by check. We are particularly focused on working on how can we advance pre-arrival and departure clearance procedures via data risk processing. So the use of data is very important for us. And how do we harness that accessibility to data to increase the efficiencies of the customs processes? Looking at doing license applications and documentary processing online. We've already seen in South Africa, for example, customers have launched their online registration and licensing portal. Phase 1 was launched in April. And so we're seeing some advancements in terms of those areas already in Africa. Certainly, we're looking at wanting to advance electronic clearances with digital stamps and approvals. Another big focus area in terms of the ecosystem problems and solutions that we would like to see would be that of e-commerce, enabling intra-Africa exports and imports for e-commerce, utilization of e-payment solutions, web technologies, and very important for us is fast internet-based technology that is able to function on a 24/7 basis. What we've seen in the past is, for example, when digital systems go down, there is a lack of sufficient backups for those downtimes, for example. So we need to look at what do we do about technology disruptions, internet downtime, what happens when the regulatory systems go offline in countries, for example. Additionally, border management, we'd like to look at using satellite technology to track delays at the border, minimize congestion, and looking at how can we use digital technology to prepare for pre-arrival of consignments into countries. One of the things I was particularly impressed with was when I was in Tanzania a couple of months ago, the Tanzanian Revenue Authority is looking at the use of X-ray equipment, digital images from X-ray scanners to be transmitted to a central pool of analysts who would then be able to risk assess remotely and look at those images and detect whether or not there are illicit goods or whether the goods are not compliant to the description of contents. So certainly I think that digital processes and the use of technology for less intrusive inspections and improved tax calculation and collections at the borders would certainly assist in the Africa region in terms of RegTech and how would you use technology to advance the efficiencies and modernization of our customs systems.
Doing business in Africa. You can't afford to be without Africa Investor.